no funerals with flowers, no religious ceremonies as we know them, no understanding of what actually happens after death. And yet, tens of thousands of years ago, humans were already doing something no other animal does with the same intention, burying their dead on purpose. With death was constant in early human life, far more frequent, far more visible, and far less avoidable than it is today. Children died young. Hunts went wrong. Illness took people with no warning. And yet, somewhere along the way, humans developed something remarkable, deliberate, intentional responses to death that went beyond simple survival instinct. The question is why, and what that tells us about the earliest human minds. Archaeological sites dating back over Eibitling years show bodies placed deliberately in graves, sometimes curled into specific positions, sometimes accompanied by tools, ochre pigment, or animal bones placed alongside them. This wasn't digging a grave, positioning a body carefully, and including objects took time and effort that offered no direct survival benefit. This matters enormously because it suggests something beyond pure practicality was happening. A body could simply be left behind or discarded with far less effort. The fact that early humans consistently chose not to do that across different regions, different time periods, independently, suggests grief and intentional ritual around death may be almost as old as our species itself. Beyond emotion, mourning rituals may have played a practical role in group survival. Coming together to mark a death reinforced group bonds at a moment when a community was most vulnerable, having just lost a hunter, a caregiver, or a knowledge holder. Shared grief rituals gave the group a structured way to process loss together, rather than letting it fracture trust or cohesion at a dangerous moment. This also may have reinforced important social lessons. This person, their death is acknowledged, and the group continues together despite the loss. In a small tribe, where every single member's skills and contributions genuinely mattered for survival, publicly marking a death may have strengthened the resolve and unity of those left behind. Beyond ritual, early humans faced genuinely difficult practical questions. After a death, what happens to the person's tools, their portion of food, their role within the group? In small, interdependent tribes, a single death could shift the entire group's ability to hunt, gather, or defend itself. Someone had to take on the responsibilities the deceased once held, almost immediately, regardless of how much time the group had to grieve. This tension between the emotional weight of loss and the practical necessity of continuing to survive was likely a defining feature of ancient death, one that modern humans, cushioned by larger societies and specialized roles, rarely have to confront so directly and immediately. Beyond mourning those who had already died, early humans almost certainly grappled with fear and uncertainty about death itself, what it meant, and how to make sense of losing someone permanently with no way to communicate with them again. Some researchers argue this uncertainty may have contributed to the earliest forms of symbolic thought and early spiritual, religious behavior, attempts to create meaning and structure around something humans could observe but never fully understand or control. Burial practices in this light may have served a dual purpose, honoring the dead, while also giving the living a way to process an unanswerable question that every single human in every era had to face. Here's what's easy to overlook. Long before written language, before organized religion, before any of the frameworks we now use to process death, humans, we're already doing the emotional and social work of grieving intentionally. That means our need to mark death, to ritualize loss, to find some kind of meaning in it, isn't a modern invention layered on top of practical survival. It may be one of the oldest, most fundamentally human responses we have. Every funeral, every quiet moment spent honoring someone who died, you're participating in something that stretches back over ling years to people who had no religion, no written language, and no answers, but still chose to dig a grave, place a body with care, and mark the fact that someone mattered. That instinct wasn't invented by any culture or religion. It's simply deeply human. If you want to see how ancient humans made sense of the world around them through early belief and ritual, hit subscribe. This is Ancestral Line.